A high pressure situation for a leader and a high pressure situation for a team member are technically the same because they're based on what? Fear and anxiety. Okay? Fear is about what's going to happen because you don't know, because only Allah knows the outcome, right? And anxiety is about your preparedness to face that fear. Okay? So technically, they're the same for both the leader and for the average team member. The difference is that the team member may not have the resources to be able to overcome their fear and anxiety, whereas a leader should have the resources to overcome their fear and anxiety. And that is obviously based on experience. So that's really important. And one of the ways that I train people when I'm doing my NLP therapeutic work to overcome the fear and anxiety is actually to do it before it's done. That doesn't make sense. Do it before it's done. So a very, very simple example. If you're planning your day, and we should all, every single one of us, no matter what level you're at, should be planning your day on a daily basis, right? Don't just go into the day blindly. Don't just say, oh yeah, I know what I need to do. Plan it. Because when you plan, you're planning for success. If you don't plan, you're planning for failure. And what I say to people is when you're planning for the next day, run through that day in your head. Say, okay, what have I got to do? What are the possible difficulties? What are the possible pitfalls? But what are the possible successes? And the mind is so powerful that it can do that in a matter of seconds. So you're not having to take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of your time to think deeply. Of course, you should do that as well, but maybe you do that once a week when you think about your week ahead. But on a daily basis, go through your day before it's even started. And that means that you do it the evening before. Because when you prepare your mind to consider what's going to happen, to consider the options that you've got, to consider the work that you need to do, to consider what's priority and what's not priority, and you sleep on that, then during your REM, which is your rapid eye movement sleep, which happens normally about an hour and a half after you fall into deep sleep, that's when your mind begins processing things. So inshallah, when you wake up in the morning, bi'idhnillah, then your mind will have more clarity about how to do what you want to do. And the only thing that gets rid of anxiety and fear is knowing your stuff. When you think about people who go to school, right? When we were kids, right? Mine was a long time ago. But when you look at those who were successful in the exams, what was the difference between them and us? The difference was they had revised really hard, they knew the subject matter, and therefore they had less to be worried about. Then there were others who didn't revise as well as they could, and so they feared exams. They had anxiety about the exams. It's the same with leadership. It's the same with work. If you know what you're doing and if you've planned for it, there's less fear and there's less anxiety. It's the same if you're a team member. If you know what your role is and how you're going to fulfill that role and you've prepared for it, there's less fear and there's less anxiety. So the first thing is do it before it's done. Second thing, briefly, don't reinvent the wheel. Don't be too proud to follow the footsteps of those who've already done it. In fact, see what they've done, and if it's good, emulate it. But by all means, put in tweaks that are favorable for you. So do things a little bit differently where it's better for you. But by and large, if somebody's already done it, take their model and implement it in what you want to do. Because when you do it that way, also, you know that the results are proven. Because it's not just one person you're going to look at, is it? You will look at a few people. You'll see how this was done previously. And also, never be afraid, as I said previously, to ask. Ask your manager, ask your leader. And if they're worth their salt, they will be glad you asked because it's their role to help you to develop as well.